where the memories stay, past the fields and fences worn by yesterday. Pull up a chair, friend, come along with me. There's a story waiting round every old oak tree. Rusty's Backroad Stories, where the miles roll by with a little bit of laughter and a tear in your eye. So settle in close and let the memories flow. Rusty's Backroad Stories, down the roads we know. You're listening to Rusty's Backroad Stories.
Well, friend, have you ever walked into an old farmhouse and noticed a pair of worn-out boots sitting by the front door? Most folks would think someone forgot to put them away, but sometimes they're right where they're supposed to be. Tonight's story is about a pair of old work boots that nobody in the Walker family ever moved. This is the shoes by the front door. On the edge of a little town called Pine Hollow stood the Walker family farm. It wasn't the biggest farm in the county. It wasn't the prettiest either, but it had been in the family for nearly 100 years. The heart of that farm wasn't the old red barn or the white farmhouse. It was a pair of dusty brown work boots sitting just inside the front door. Every visitor noticed them, every visitor asked about them, and every member of the Walker family smiled before answering. They belonged to Grandpa Eli. The strange thing was, Grandpa Eli had passed away 22 years earlier, yet the boots never moved, not even an inch. Eli Walker had spent his entire life farming that land. He wasn't a wealthy man, never owned a brand new truck, never took fancy vacations. But if someone needed help, Eli was already on his way before they finished asking. He fixed fences after storms, pulled cars from muddy ditches, delivered groceries to elderly neighbors, repaired roofs, built wheelchair ramps, and every morning before sunrise, he slipped on those old boots. When Eli passed away at the age of 83, the family packed away most of his belongings, his hats, his overalls, his tools. But when his daughter Sarah reached for the boots by the front door, her mother stopped her. "Leave them." Sarah looked puzzled. "Why?" Her mother smiled. "Because your daddy always said, you never know when somebody might need you." So the boots stayed. Years passed. Children grew up. Grandchildren came along. The boots gathered dust. But nobody touched them. Then one icy January evening, a terrible storm swept through Pine Hollow. Trees fell. Power lines snapped. Roads disappeared beneath ice. About 9 o'clock that night, someone knocked on the Walker family's front door. It was young Ethan Brooks. His truck had slid into a ditch. His wife was in labor. The ambulance couldn't reach them. Without saying a word, Sarah looked toward the boots. Then she called her son, Daniel. He quietly stepped over, picked up Grandpa Eli's boots, slipped them on. They were 2 sizes too big. He grabbed a flashlight, started the old tractor, and drove through the storm. Nearly 2 hours later, Daniel returned with Ethan, his wife, and a healthy baby girl wrapped in blankets. The entire town talked about that night for weeks. A few days later, Sarah noticed something. The boots weren't by the front door. She searched the house. Finally, she found them in the barn. Fresh mud still clung to the soles. She smiled, cleaned them carefully, and placed them back exactly where they'd always been. Not because they belonged to Eli anymore, but because they had become something bigger, a reminder that helping people never goes out of style. Today, Visitors to the Walker farmhouse still see those old boots by the door. And if you ask about them, someone will probably grin and say, "We keep them there, just in case kindness comes knocking." You know, friend, we spend a lot of money buying things that wear out. Shoes, cars, clothes, houses. But kindness never wears out. It gets passed down, from one generation to the next. Grandpa Eli's boots weren't valuable because of the leather. They were valuable because of the footsteps they represented. And maybe that's what legacy really is. Leaving behind something that inspires somebody else to keep walking in the right direction. Well, friend, thank you for stopping by tonight. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road, your heart open, and remember, every back road has a story.